All right, so let's start. So we did covered about the various operator till now. Let's say from the beginning, we did cover identifying organic, inorganic search result, direct answers. People also search for basic operations and or not, double quotations and brackets on LinkedIn as well as on Google. And then we covered pretty much on a various nodes and the thumb rules. And then we did understand the basic operator and or not double quotations and brackets on Google and understanding the different types of outputs in a Google search result, understanding some advanced operator in URL, in title, and in text. We did that as well. In yesterday's session, we did also gone through the various use cases of uh, these advanced operators like in URL, in title, and in text while using in a combination of not. How exactly we're going to exclude. And also pretty much we have covered the notes and the thumb rules. So please follow the notes, just understand uh, what and where it is and how it is so that it will be clear for you. And then today what we're going to cover is basically understanding an operator in URL. Definitely we did understand an operator and then understanding an operator site. So what does an operator site do? And we'll realize that both the operators in URL and site are doing the same job, but what exactly the difference is there in between an operator site as well as in URL. So let's see. So what is an operator site do? Basically helps us. So it basically helps us to restrict the search result to a specific website. For example, let's say I just go to LinkedIn. So I took a couple of profiles from Bangalore, then a couple of profiles from New York, one profile from Poland, one profile from UK, and the other profile is also from UK. Okay. So let's say I just take the URLs of this all the sites. Okay. So in the below URLs, so in all these 4 or 5 URLs, what is the common factor, irrespective of their location? What is the common factor? What is a common thing that you see?
Like till/in, it is all common. http www.linkedin.com/in slash
Right?
in. Yeah.
Exactly. So that is basically a in the below URLs of LinkedIn profiles, in the below URLs of LinkedIn of individual profiles, in the below, okay. For example, in the below URLs of individual files, that www dot
The URL of individual LinkedIn profiles, we see that.
forward slash is something which is common, irrespective of the locations, and hence, and hence when we use
Hence, when we use site LinkedIn,
and hence when we use site linkedin.com forward slash in, we will be able to see them now. Um, okay, location, and hence we when we use the site linkedin.com forward slash in, we'll be able to see that now the operator site is restricting the searches only to a specific website which has in. So when I just take this, okay. So we would see that whatever the searches, whatever the results we're getting, all the results are basically only from the LinkedIn. We're not getting the results from any other website. Clear? Though it is says au.linkedin.com, cs.linkedin, ie.linkedin, but when you open, those are all the old pattern of the profiles. But when you open these profiles, again, you'll be able to see it's linkedin.com forward slash in. Okay, so this again, if you see here, linkedin.com forward slash in, linkedin.com forward slash in, linkedin.com forward slash in. Those are the old pattern and which is deprecated now, which is no more valid. So stop writing like site uh, in.linkedin.com forward slash in. Those are all the old URL pattern. At least 4 or 5 years ago, those URLs used to exist, but those URLs are no more existing. Like fr.linkedin for France. Okay, so those URLs are BR for Berlin, UK.linkedin. So those URLs are no more existing. Now today, if you open these URLs, you'll be able to see it's a one single pattern for individual profile that gets into the IN folder of the LinkedIn data. So when we cover the next session, which is on guiding on URL structure, how the URLs are structured, how the URLs are constructed, in that it will be more clear. Okay, like if you open it, then you are seeing that it is linkedin.com forward slash in, linkedin.com forward slash in. The old ones are deprecated and these are the new ones, linkedin.com forward slash in, linkedin.com forward slash in. All right, clear? Any doubts, any confusion on this? Okay. So for example, in the below URL of individual LinkedIn profile, we see that linkedin.com/in is something which is common irrespective of the location. And hence, when we use site linkedin.com/in, we'll be able to see that now the operator site is restricting the search only to a specific website which has www.linkedin.com. So site github.com. When we use site github.com, we're getting a list of results only from a GitHub. We're not getting any other results. And it is starting from GitHub. docs.github.com, gist. This is again github.com, docs.github, gist.github, support.github, anything, but only from the github.com. And hence, okay. So when the operator site is helping us to restrict the results from a specific website, so when the operator site is helping us to restrict the result from a specific website, then how does it differ from in URL? Because inurl is also doing the same job. Okay. So when the operator site is helping us to restrict the results from a specific website, then how does it differ from inurl? Because inurl is also doing the same job when we use a below searches, right? Let's say inurl linkedin.com/n. Okay. We get again the results only from the linkedin.com. All right. So how is it differing? Or let's say inurl github.com. Any clue over here? How is it differing? Anyone? Namrata?
You mean to say that from in URL versus GitHub, right? Site.
No, no. Inurl versus site.
Yeah. So in URL, basically wherever it will mention like LinkedIn.com or GitHub, it will take it. But for the site, we will get the specifically from that particular site.
Exactly. Okay. So when we are using a site linkedin.com or site github.com, we are seeing that we are getting specifically only from that particular website because that is an operator for a specific to restrict the searches from a specific website. But when I'm using in your linkedin.com, if you scroll down slowly, you'll realize that it is working as an open-ended search, and wherever the linkedin.com is existing in the part of a URL, it's not necessary that only from LinkedIn it might give from some different websites also, like Quora. If you see here, now again, if I just go here, so LinkedIn-com. So there was some question related to LinkedIn.com, and when the and when that dot was getting into the URL part of it, something like LinkedIn, this thing, when the dot was getting into the URL part of it, that dot has been replaced as a hyphen. So if you see here, this result is actually not from the LinkedIn.com, but there was a question related to LinkedIn.com. Something like what is the difference between LinkedIn.com, okay, LinkedIn.com pub and LinkedIn.com/in. Some years back, someone asked this question. That time it used to be PUB, public profiles and all, but now it is outdated. It's no more there. So, uh, this question was getting into the title of the page. This question was getting into the title of the page. As I mentioned in yesterday's session, when we use in title, then it is actually taking that title of the particular web page. Okay. So this question was getting into the title of this particular web page. And while it is getting, wherever there was a space that has been replaced with hyphen, and even these dots were replaced with a hyphen. So that's where we are getting this result. LinkedIn hyphen com. So it's not necessary that when I'm using in your linkedin.com, it is only restricting to that particular site. It could be from the other website also. It's just that linkedin.com is a part of that particular URL and it could appear anywhere, left, right, center, anywhere. And it is pretty much open-ended search. And which is working here as a keyword. It is not working as a URL. It is linkedin.com/in is still a keyword over here. Something like, again, if I use in URL github.com, you'll see we have a couple of results from other websites also. Okay, Stack Overflow. Okay. So here again, there was some question related to github.com. And when it was making a title of that particular page, the dot has been replaced as a hyphen. So that's where we have this GitHub hyphen com. Okay, git while hyphen poetry hyphen add hyphen git plus is got mixed up with HTTPS, and then again hyphen colon and forward slash become hyphen GitHub. That dot has replaced as a hyphen, again forward slash hyphen blink of hyphen hyphen hyphen. So while making the title of the page for this entire part, whatever the spaces or whatever the dots were there has been replaced by hyphen or whatever the special character. So that's when we are getting this particular result. We'll see if we have some more examples like that. And this is a very short search. And when we give some of the lengthier searches, then we'll have more examples. There we'll be able to see that whatever we are getting, we are actually not getting a list of result only from this particular URL, but we are also getting a list of result from other URLs too. If like one is a Stack Overflow, let's see in case we are able to get some more, something else. Okay. So I would say here, okay. Create linkedin.com or github.com as a keyword to be shown in Clear? Any doubts on this? What's happening when we're using site and what's happening when we're using in URL?
No, Shiv, it's all clear.
We're good?
Yeah.
Satish, Abhinay, Anu, Harish, Megha, Nagesh, Namrata, Pawni, Ramya, Shubha.
Yes.
Yes, it's clear.
Yes, it's
It's clear, right? Okay.
Yes.
Now, I'll tell you two things. Which search is correct from the below. Hmm. Hmm. Which one is
You-
correct?
First one.
Why
NURL,
not second one?
because it
There is no
refers
site
to
called
a
resume.
specific site.
What, Anjali?
Because it refers to a specific site, and resume is not a kind of a site. We usually focus on the PDF doc files. So, which lands into any URL.
Now,
Seems all are correct.
hmm. So tell me which one is correct. First one?
All are correct.
First is correct.
Second
Second,
one?
it's wrong.
Why?
There is no site called a resume.
Okay,
No.
third one?
It is correct.
Why?
We have a site called resume.com.
Fourth one?
Correct.
Why?
Because sometimes there in place of .com we can find .in, cv.in.
Fifth
There can
one?
be a site.
First one is right. There is a site called me.com.
Sixth one?
Any I don't think is any wrong.
Why?
Sixth one is also
I'm
right.
not sure any is
Seventh one?
Sure, that's correct.
Seventh one?
Seventh is wrong.
It is right.
Why?
I don't think like we have such website. .qa.
Eighth one,
Correct.
why?
.com. We
There is
can
a
have a
space,
website.
so
Yeah.
it's wrong.
Okay, yeah.
Ninth one,
It is correct.
10th one,
Incorrect. Wrong,
why?
wrong. There can't be dot in with
Okay,
in URL.
for site. Okay,
For site, yeah. For site we use.
anything dot anything. It could be in, it could be net, it could be com, it could be NL, it could be IN, it could be online, it could be event, it could be anything dot anything. What is required is for the site operator, it should be anything dot anything. That means it should make a website pattern, which is site.cv.in, which is website pattern, though that website is not existing today, but tomorrow it might exist, but it is making site me.com or u.ne, which is again making a website link. This is something damn text.qa, but it is still making a website link. Anything dot anything, which is making a website link. Today that website might not be existing, but tomorrow that might exist. Okay, site, here there is a space. Okay, wrong because there is a space between a web web website name, and technically it's not possible to have a website which has a space in the name of a website. However, there can be dot or hyphen or underscore. Control. For example, something dot anything. Something like, let's say if we just go to GoDaddy, okay? Is this domain available? Something dot anything, okay? So here something anything.com, which is pretty expensive, but otherwise something anything dot in, dot com, dot shop, dot co, dot social, dot club, dot us, dot vip, dot co, dot in, dot store, dot online, dot com, dot xyz, dot live, dot com, dot info, dot live, dot com, dot fit, dot com, dot world, dot me, dot com, dot site, dot fun, dot app, dot today, dot blog, xyz, dot co, dot co, dot com, dot com, dot com, dot com, dot com, dot com, services, dot asia, dot services, dot digital, dot website, dot biz. So today, maybe some GoDaddy is not supporting for something dot anything, but here if you see there are many things. That is biz, that is website, that is digital. But what is important here, what thumb rule it is following while creating any website is that dot is important. Something dot anything. That dot is important. There should be something before the dot and there should be something after the dot. Then only it is making that particular website. Or else, so while using an operator site, we have to make sure that it is a proper website. But that's not the case while using inurl. Let's say inurl, I just use GitHub. I still get the list of results. Various results which has a GitHub in the URL part. Like here, GitHub is there in the URL part. Here, GitHub is there in the URL part. GitHub log. Here, Kinsta. But when I just see the URL, there will be a GitHub in the URL part. Okay, again here, github.io digital. Okay, here is again a GitHub is there in the part of a URL. GitHub is part of a URL. HubSpot, Instagram, Apple, all the various simply learn, all the various sites we are getting, but where we are saying GitHub as a keyword, here GitHub is working as a keyword and as a part of a URL, it could appear left, right, center, anywhere. But similarly, if I use site, it won't work because it's not a website. Let's say github.com site is existing. Let's see if github.in site is existing. Yes, github.in site is also existing, and that's the reason we're getting these results. github.in, github.com existing, we got the result. .in existing, we got the result. github.co, github.co existing, we got the results. github.me, github.me also existing, we got the results. github.u is not existing. We do not got the result. But is this correct or wrong? Syntactically, is it correct or
Correct.
wrong?
Correct.
Correct. Correct.
Syntactically, it is correct because it is making that web link, something dot anything.
Right.
Let's say now I just go here, github.u, and I say, okay, fine. In Big Rock domains, where is it? Okay, .com is sold. Online, 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 com, load more, store, site, net, com, or com, online. Or I might connect with big rock people. I say, no, I want that github.io only. And then they might take some extra money and they say, okay, fine, this is available, you just take it. But end of the day, it is making that pattern of a website. Though that website is not existing, like IPTV GitHub. Though that website is not existing now, but that might exist tomorrow. But syntactically, is it correct or wrong? Syntactically, is this correct or wrong?
Correct.
Okay, similarly, let's say in URL. Okay, I don't say linkedin.com. I just say in URL LinkedIn. I might get all those results from the various website where LinkedIn is existing as a part of a URL, and here LinkedIn is considered as a particular keyword. But when I just use as a site, then site need a specific website. If it doesn't make that web link, it won't give me. LinkedIn.in, some sites, some web pages are existing with LinkedIn.in. I'm getting LinkedIn.in. Though these are the old web pages, which once I click now, will get to linkedin.com/in, redirected to that. But it's from the old data, what it's remembering. But technically, that URL pattern is correct. And that's the reason we are getting those results. Clear? Any doubt, any confusion, any questions? What's the difference between the operator site and operator in URL?
Sir, in site, there is no special character at all. Huh?
There can be. Website
Dot
might have a
star.
special character.
Site colon dollar star. I mean dollar dot star can also be there.
No,
But
it won't be. No, it will only support dot, hyphen, or underscore. And that too when you're creating a web pages. But while you're registering a site, it is only dot. It is only dot. It cannot be site hyphen me. It cannot be like that. It has to be dot. Let's say if I just go to GoDaddy or this one, it don't allow me. GitHub hyphen in is there, but again .com is asking. So that dot has to be there. GitHub hyphen in is acceptable, but that .net is there.
yeah. My question was not that, sir. I understood dot is required. I'm telling before dot dollar and after dot star. Instead
You
of
want a name like that?
no.
GitHub dollar star. Just check in the domain name server. Can it be possible? You'll get it. No. .org.
No special character allowed.
Exactly. If special character is allowed, let's see if $.com is allowed. No, it's not allowed. It has to be some word, alphabet. No special character as a name of website. Mhm. It's not taking only. So no special character as a name of website. It is only dot. Alphabet dot alphabet. Something dot anything. No special character. Clear? Any doubts? Any confusion on versus in URL?
That holds good with in URL also, no, sir? There's no special character there also.
See, no URL can have a special character. That we'll cover when we're covering the depth of in URL, how exactly the URLs are structured, how exactly URLs are created. In that class, we'll be covering the anatomy of in URL or the anatomy of the URL. That is pretty much the next session is designed.
Okay.
So if you see here, okay, understanding this is done, second is done, third is done, understanding advanced operator and their benefits, that is done. And then in URL versus site, that is done. Today we have done that. Dive deep on in URL and site, the difference between in URL versus site, that we have done today. Now we'll go with the next anatomy of URL, how the URLs are structured or constructed in our next session. This is where we'll have a more clarity around the URL part and then the site part.
Okay.
All right, team.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it for today, pretty much. Any doubts, any questions? And that's where you have a fifth one homework also. Just complete that homework as well. The fifth question is aligned to today's discussion of an operator site. All right, team. Any doubts, any questions?
Sir, I had yesterday's one question. Can I ask that?
Yeah, please.
1 second. Let me just give you this. Yeah. Can you place this string, sir? In search once. My question here was, when we search that, yesterday you were teaching about the in title part, na? In title is the title for the web page.
Anything, it has to be a title of that particular web page.
Once you
Web page or
yeah,
any document or anything.
correct. Once just click enter, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, coming to the first, if you open that. So resume is coming in the title part, so it is displayed, right?
It is displayed. This is the title of the web page. JavaScript -software -engineer -resume -sample. The way we have seen in this example, when they asked this question, it was trying to become a title of this particular web page. And that's where the spaces has become hyphen over here and special characters also become a hyphen over here. But still that particular word here, if you see in title resume, here resume is still a part of a title.
Yeah. And the
Clear?
next, yeah. Once come back to the strings.
Yeah.
Come down once. Here it is, we are getting because CV is the title. This page, CV is the title, na?
Yes. CV word is a part of a title. JavaScript developer CV. CV word is a part of a title. Sample, guide, entry level, and senior. Yesterday we seen one code, right?
Correct.
HTML code, which was like this.
Yeah, in title. I got it. Yeah, in HTML.
Okay. So like this. So here there could be this is my CV for software. Let's say. Okay. And just go here and then I just say title. This is my CV for software engineer role.
Yeah.
Equals to Mhm. Okay. I don't know why it is not showing. Otherwise, here it should show that.
That you
Show
should
that
write body, head, and all.
end,
No? You need to write.
no,
Hmm?
the end title tag is missing.
What?
The end one, the title tag is missing. Slash
Hmm.
the title. Yeah. After the slash.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And still, it's not coming. It
No
should
need to
come
write
here.
head, body,
Because
and
we have to mention that, yeah, mention the open HTML tag and the close HTML tag. We have to add that.
that is the syntax of HTML. at least.
Where
Yes.
is it? Not sure. It's correct only. But yeah, just leave it. So here, this is the title of this particular page. And then we are seeing that resume, or here the CV is also particular title of the page. That's the reason we are getting that.
Shiv, can you please go to that page?
Which one?
That website we were talking. And it's the
Which
result
one?
page.
This one.
No. Oh yeah. Give right click and view page source. You can see that. View page source. Scroll down. View page source.
Hmm.
We can see that in the top. The title will be there.
Head here. href. HTML. Meta. Link. Style. Type. Function. Script. Styling. This is CSS part. Text
Okay.
align. This entire stuff is a CSS part, but
Try
somewhere there will
inspect
be a
element.
title for some.
Try
Hmm?
inspect element. Inspect element.
Inspect also we can try.
Yeah.
This entire stuff is CSS part. HTML I'm not getting. But anyways, if you see, like, it's taking it from the title part of it. Anyway, yeah, it's okay, just leave it. Anyways, any further doubts? Any questions? We are good. What's the difference between operator in URL and sorry, operator site?
Yes.
Yes.
We're good, right?
Yeah.
Do we have a doubt? No doubts, right?
As of no.
No,
No,
for
Shiv.
now.
Great. So before then, let's take a break for today and let's connect on the next weekend. And someone who wants to get converted from weekend to weekday batch, do it from tomorrow itself. You can just join from tomorrow. All right. So we are pretty much parallelly going both the batches. All right, team.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
sure.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.